Oh yeah. For any of you commenting saying I'm a Horde fanboy, see it? I like both. And really, I'm probably an Alliance fanboy, but I just like this Horde hoodie. I like both. I like both factions, dude. So chill. Chill with that. But anyways, guys, welcome back to another video. Today we've got some pretty juicy information. We have an entire developer Q&A session that was posted on Wowhead. We have some pretty cool stuff that they talked about with Season of Discovery, like certain things that we're going to hint at here. Maybe Edge Masters not being as relevant as they were before. Maybe Fear Ward not only being for Dwarf Priests eventually. I don't know. Pretty big things we're going to talk about. But anyways, let's dive into it. Okay, so anyways, we're here on Wowhead, and here's all the updates from the Q&A session on Season of Discovery. A couple things to note here. This one we already kind of knew. Phase 1 will be level 25, Phase 2 will be level 40, Phase 3 will be level 50, and Phase 4 will be level 60. Blizzard hasn't decided entirely on the time durations for each phase, and we kind of talked about this before, and they talked about it at BlizzCon. They're kind of leaving it open, you know, letting the player base kind of decide where they want to take it. You know, if everyone's bored 3 weeks in, I'm sure they'll consider dropping Phase 2, you know, that next week or the week after that. But here's the thing. I do think that they are actively developing this content as we go along. I don't think all of it is set in stone, right? Like all the changes for level 50 and on are probably not done yet. So they are actively developing that. I would imagine that Phase 2 is pretty close to being finished with development-wise, but we'll have to see how that goes. They honestly, they're saying that they're listening to player feedback really closely, so that is a great thing. We really can't ask for more than that. Level up raids and open world events from previous phases will still be relevant in later phases as Season of Discovery progresses. Blizzard believes players will certainly go back into previous raids while leveling up. And of course, this is probably very true, especially judging by the type of gear that's dropping in these raids like Black Fathom Deeps. I mean, the only thing I was able to kind of get my hands on or my eyes on and see was like some kind of two-hander that dropped that had like an on-hit effect that basically made like a cone of cold. So imagine being a warrior or a ret paladin or a shaman using that weapon and like you have a chance on hit to be blasting a cone of cold. That's just tons of AoE and tons of cleave damage, and that seems pretty cool. So people are going to want to continue to do this content, especially as later phases drop and it becomes way easier to level in previous phases. So next up we have raids from WoW Classic will make a return in Season of Discovery later phases after level 60. Blizzard might make changes to those raids, still developing that. And I think this is something that they will definitely do. They're probably going to tweak Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, Nax, ZG, AQ, all that stuff. Maybe even like Dire Maul. I have a feeling, this is my speculation, and let me know what you guys think, that Phase 1 of like level 60, right? I feel like level 60 is coming as a phase, right? Phase 4. But then there's going to be phases of level 60. So maybe Phase 1 of level 60, the raid is like Dire Maul, and they tune it like a raid, and it's a 10-man or a 20-man. I have a feeling that that's where we're going with this. It seems like they're being very vague when it comes to like talking about the end of this season or anything like that. The only thing they did confirm for us was that our characters will persist after this. And there's a little bit more information on that as we go down in this list. But I think it's going to be, level 60 is going to have its own phases of content as well. Just my 2 cents on that. Blizzard said they will create new legendary items for Season of Discovery. Blizzard is excited to explore new areas and some quest chains that never were completed in original vanilla. Again, this is Classic Plus, like we've already decided. So adding some new legendaries, finishing those epic quest chains, that's pretty cool stuff. Here's a big one. Gold buying, selling, and botting are hard for Blizzard to discuss openly because it is an arms race with botters. Blizzard is making changes and monitoring it closely and is committed to continuing to fight this battle even if it is endless. And like I've talked about in other videos, this is an endless battle. They can do whatever. They can ban hundreds of thousands of accounts, and then tomorrow all the botters will be back, and they'll go again until the next ban wave. It's just how it goes, and as long as they're kind of monitoring it and doing the best that they can, that's all I can ask for. Blizzard has been making adjustments to realms and realm caps over time. Blizzard also believes by having fewer realm options, it could lead to a healthier balance of faction population on PvP realms. Totally agree with this. I don't think we need 20 Season of Discovery realms. I honestly think One PvP, one PvE realm per region would probably do the trick. Maybe two if it needs that many, but honestly, with layering, it's working out in Hardcore Classic. I mean, we're at a point in time where there was like 11 layers or maybe even more. So just like do that. And if we need more and there's massive queues, dump a couple of new realms out. But I don't think that launching like 5+ realms per region is a good idea, because what'll happen is there's always a drop off right after the first couple of weeks. People stop playing, they get burned out. And it honestly always leads to an unhealthy balance of factions on these PvP realms especially, and then that makes the game pretty much unplayable, and you have to pay to transfer your character off, and it's a whole nightmare. And I think we could easily avoid that by just having less realms. Azeroth should feel challenging and exciting for players, so Blizzard is aware of the player power gained from runes in the new season of Discovery. Right, we're going to be a lot stronger. Where it will be appropriate to balance the open world, Blizzard will do it. The same goes for raids and dungeons, so that's nice. That's good to hear. A lot of people have been commenting, saying basically that, what's the point of all this if we're going to just be one-shotting every mob, or you can, pull entire zones and just AoE them down. I had a feeling that they were going to be making adjustments to the open world, and it's good to hear that they actually are doing that, and we're going to be able to kind of still have some sort of a challenge, right? The whole thing with vanilla is that the world is a dangerous place, and you're this adventurer, and you're getting stronger over time. Yes, we're going to have a massive power spike with these runes, but you also have to remember we're not going to have all these runes at level 10. These are runes that you discover along the way to level 25, and you may not discover all of the runes available to you by the time you hit 25. You might have to go back and discover more of them. I'm sure within a couple of weeks of this launching, there's going to be an add-on that tracks all the runes and where to get them and stuff like that. But for those first couple of weeks, it's definitely going to be a bit of a struggle, and people are going to be sharing information back and forth. There's going to be videos. Oh, this is how you get this rune. I know on my channel here, every single rune I find for every class, I plan on leveling everything to level 25 as fast as I possibly can. I will be doing videos on where to find all the runes. So that is pretty good as well. For Season of Discovery, Blizzard has focused Shaman's enhancement damage to be more focused on the Burning Crusade version, which is a dual-wield focused with Lava Lash. Blizzard is listening to player feedback regarding that. So I've gotten a lot of comments actually on my Shaman video talking about how we'd want to see some two-hander builds. And I couldn't agree with this more. I love two-handed enhancement Shaman in vanilla. Fishing for those Wind Fury procs and just getting those massive hits feels so good. So they're saying that they're listening to player feedback. So you know what? If you want changes, be loud, be on the forums. Don't be a jerk. Don't be mean. Just speak your mind and say, this is why I think this would work, and give like reasoning to it. And if they're listening to player feedback and enough people make some noise, maybe they'll give us a two-handed enhancement Shaman build. Next one here, we have Blizzard accidentally teased, quote unquote, accidentally teased Scarlet Monastery at BlizzCon, and there are tons of new things Blizzard is creating that weren't teased at all. There will be brand new, never-before-seen content added into Season of Discovery, and this obviously is a given. They weren't going to show us everything. There's going to be plenty of stuff in Season of Discovery, even on day one of launch. With all these leaks and all these people like me making videos, there's still going to be tons of stuff that they didn't tell us was in the game, and it's going to be really cool to find that out. There might be runes in future phases that make hybrid classes more viable, such as Holy Smite Priest. That's pretty cool. We kind of had a feeling that was going to be coming. The world is the main character in Season of Discovery. Blizzard likes the level-banded content because they can really focus on various parts of the world and create new content for that. And I agree with this. It gives them time to focus on specific areas out in the world and create content around that. If the game dropped with a level cap of 60 and all of the content in the game would be beaten within 3 days, and there'd be nothing to discover. So I really do think the level banded approach here with vanilla is honestly the best way that they can do this. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. This seems to be a controversial topic, but I think it's a great idea. Racial skills are important for class fantasy and define characters. Blizzard will not do anything specific for racial abilities, but Blizzard did hint that maybe weapon skill related racials will be available through rewards and level up raids. This will make some weapon skill racials potentially less desirable, and maybe an item like Edgemaster's handguards, which we all know and love, won't be as necessary. That's a really big one, because the weapon skill racials, right, being a human on Alliance or being an orc on Horde or a troll on Horde, these are like, they define how people play the game, right? If you're not a human rogue or you're not a human warrior, you are just naturally going to do less damage or parse, worse than a human warrior, right? If you play a night elf warrior, you're just automatically at a disadvantage to anyone who's a human warrior. If you put yourself up against a human warrior with the same exact gear as you and you're a night elf, they're just going to do better. And by design, it does play into the class fantasy, but it doesn't need to be that hardcore. Like, we don't need to make it an actual significant difference in damage, because that just funnels people into playing something they may not want. And the whole point of vanilla is to pick what you want and pick what you enjoy, pick what you want to look like, and what animations you like the best, and play that and enjoy it and just have fun. So I think this is going to be a great change too if they do implement that. Blizzard is open to exploring potentially adding in priest racials as runes in later phases, like non-dwarf priests may be using Fear Ward. Pretty much the same thing, piggybacking off of the weapon skill racials. That's a big one right there. I think that it's completely unfair that only dwarf priests get Fear Ward. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't like playing dwarves personally. They're a really cool race, but maybe I would play a priest if I can have Fear Ward on a human or a night elf. I mean, a night elf priest at this point, you know, when you get a, what is it, Starfall or something? Not Starfall. Some kind of stars, falling stars. I don't even know. It's so irrelevant and no one plays it. But when you do see someone playing a night elf priest, you're like, oh no. Like, why did this person pick a night elf? And it shouldn't be that way. They should be able to play whatever they want and enjoy it and be on the same playing field as every other race, you know, playing that class. So I agree with this one as well. Blizzard is really excited for Season of Discovery, but wants to see how players react to it. Seasonal servers are meant to be temporary, but Blizzard will always guarantee that you'll be able to keep the characters you create. But they aren't sure if the seasonal changes will have a permanent home or not. They're still discussing it and listening to feedback. This is, again, something they talked about at the end of BlizzCon, I'm pretty sure. There may be like a permanent Season of Discovery realm, which would technically be a permanent Classic Plus realm, you know, if it makes sense. So I guess, like they said, they're listening to player feedback, and we'll see. It seems like Season of Discovery is kind of an open-ended season. We don't know when it's going to end. We don't know what's going to be in it at the end. But we do know at the very least that at the end of Season of Discovery, you'll be able to keep your characters and possibly transfer them to a permanent realm. So that's all the updates I've got for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with a friend, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of all of this stuff. This was a pretty big segment that we went through here, so really good stuff in there. And if you don't have anything to say at all, drop an emoji. It really does help me out with the algorithm. And subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. And if you want to hang out with me live, I do stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/hammerdance. There'll be a link to that in the description below, and I'll also link this article down there as well if you guys want to read through it on your own. But anyways, guys, that's all from me. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.